If I were giving you the following headline at just about any other time in American history, you would rightly say, David, what the hell are you talking about? Donald Trump is launching a Saudi-style sovereign wealth fund with the idea that it might buy TikTok and make TikTok an entity of the federal government. You know how Republicans scream about socialism every time the government does anything beyond giving tax cuts to billionaires? Telling a health insurance company, if you want to be in the business of health insurance, here's some ground rules. They tell us that that's socialism. Well, Donald Trump just announced that he wants to create a sovereign wealth fund, basically a government-controlled investment fund to buy up private assets. And it's already being floated as a way for the United States to buy TikTok. Here is Donald Trump signing this. Take a look.
Thank you, sir. Next, this is an executive order. Discharges your Secretary of the Treasury, Scott Bessent, and your Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick, to begin a process that will hopefully result in the creation of an American sovereign wealth fund.
It's a very exciting event. We're going to have a sovereign wealth fund, which we've never had. We have a lot of things that create wealth, and you're seeing that over the last 2 weeks. I think we've created more wealth. Other people have created de-wealth, the people, my predecessors. We're creating a lot of wealth. Scott, maybe you'd like to say something about it, and I'd ask also Howard to say something about it.
Yes, sir. This is very exciting. We're going to stand this thing up within the next 12 months. We're going to monetize the asset side of the U.S. balance sheet for the American people. We're going...
Yeah, the guy who rails against big government wants the government to own a social media platform. Let's break this down. It's not only hypocritical, it could really do some serious damage as far as government overreach goes. So typically, these sovereign wealth funds, I'm not like, oh, I love sovereign wealth funds. So I'm just going to tell you what they typically do. They're usually used by countries with large budget surpluses, like Norway's oil money, Saudi Arabia's vast reserves, and they'll invest in stocks or real estate or infrastructure. The United States, by contrast, runs a massive, massive deficit, which Trump, of course, said he would reduce and eventually get a surplus and eventually pay off the national debt. I guess those plans are on pause. Trump doesn't like to get basic economics get in the way of what he wants to do. So Trump wants to create a sovereign wealth fund funded by tariffs, which basically means funded by taxes, which he claims to be against, and other intelligent things. His words, not mine. So Trump's plan is, let's create a thing to use your tax money to buy private industry and let me control it. Not small government, sort of a form of socialism or communism, to be quite frank. And of course, the hypocrisy is that when Democrats do it, it is socialism and it's bad. When Trump does it, it's a great national endeavor that we should all be very happy about. Now, for years, recall that Trump and Republicans have completely demonized government intervention in the economy. Medicare for all, bad. Socialism, communism. The government getting involved in negotiating drug prices under Biden. Socialism, government overreach, shouldn't do it. Bailing out student loan borrowers, the way Biden did. That's big government overreach. It's interfering with the magic of free markets. And yet when Donald Trump wants the government to own a private company like TikTok, suddenly it's a great national endeavor and we should all get in line and say, yes, sir, even if he wants to do it with our tax money. So it's the same hypocrisy that we've seen before. When Trump slaps tariffs on a country, his supporters will say he's leveling the playing field rather than being protectionist, which they claim to be against. But in this particular case, it's kind of even more dangerous, and I'll explain why. If Trump gets his way, the US government could own a social media platform. And that alone is a disaster waiting to happen. Now, a government-run social media company in Donald Trump's hands, he already tried to weaponize the DOJ against his enemies. He's in cahoots with Elon Musk, who is totally weaponizing X. Imagine what the Trump administration would do if they owned and controlled a massive social media platform. What would be next? The government acquiring media outlets, cable channels, tech companies? And if you are saying, David, there are concerns about TikTok as owned by ByteDance, I'm with you. And what I want the government to do is to provide robust regulation and a level playing field. Rather than targeting TikTok, say, hey, you know what? Here are the rules for every social media company that wants to operate in the United States. Here is how, where, and the details of how the data needs to be stored and handled. Here are the details about maybe once you get to a certain size, you need a board of directors, and here are the different parties who get to appoint one or two directors. I'm spitballing here, but the point is, get me robust, sane, carefully calibrated regulation for social media companies. Don't have the government buy TikTok. That's not what I think is the solution to the real concerns about ByteDance and China's ownership stake in TikTok. You can be both concerned about that, but not think that Trump's government buying TikTok is the solution. Who decides which companies the government can buy? Who controls the companies once they're purchased? Does control shift between Oval Offices? Do you appoint some board? And if so, who appoints the people on the board? You don't have to be a libertarian, which I'm not, to see the dangerous implications here. It's not really about national security. This is about Trump's obsession with power. There are legitimate national security concerns with TikTok. The US has been debating what to do and whether ByteDance should have to sell it. But Trump's solution of having the government own it, it's just about control. It's about Trump's ego at the end of the day. If this were really about national security, you can go about this a bunch of different ways, including the ones that I've mentioned. So Trump prefers a model that looks like China's economic policies, where the government controls major industries because we have to protect national interests. A free market guy, supposedly Trump, who wants government-run business. So Trump's sovereign wealth fund idea is hypocritical. It's also dangerous. It is state-controlled capitalism with MAGA branding. Some might call it communism. And if a Democrat floated something like this, Fox News would be on fire with warnings for months about government takeovers and communist tyranny. But because it's Trump, Charlie Kirk and Hannity and most Republicans, they're just going to eat it up. Oh, he's so smart. It's brilliant what he's doing. So don't be fooled by it. This is the kind of big government overreach that Republicans claim that they are against, right up until the moment where Trump decides he wants it. And then they'll say, well, it does solve a lot of our problems. It checks a lot of the boxes of the things we're trying to do. These are pathetic people who will tell you they are guided by a set of principles. The only principle they're really guided by right now is, does Trump want it? And if so, then that's fine. Well, I wrote a book after a long journey and a ton of work. I am really thrilled with how it turned out, and I hope you'll read it. The book is called The Echo Machine, and in a nutshell, it looks at how American politics got so broken, who has already figured out solutions, and how we can try to fix it and stop the terror of Trump for the next 4 years. With Trump winning this election, The Echo Machine couldn't be more relevant, not only a warning about how we got here, but also about what might be coming and how to prevent the worst outcomes. We've got to stay engaged. We need a plan, and that's what the book is about. There's a belief out there that unless you have corporate media behind you, you can't have a successful political book launch, that it's not possible. I think we can prove that wrong. Order The Echo Machine today at davidpakman.com/echo on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Audible, Kindle, anywhere that books, ebooks, and audiobooks are sold. You can also call any local bookstore and say, please order me The Echo Machine by David Pakman. Wherever you get the book, you'll get the free pre-order perks, including the signed book plate. Head to davidpakman.com/free book stuff after ordering.